Okay, a couple of weeks ago we talked about hand strength being important to pistol shooting. So eyesight and hand strength are really important. So I'm going to show you a couple things that we work on for hand strength. We have a couple, these are basically just stress balls. And so when you're driving, you can literally just squeeze them while you're driving. The boys squeeze them when they're in class. But you don't need to do a whole lot, maybe 10 per side, and then switch. So that's good for just developing the hand strength in general. Next we have some medicine balls. And it takes two people. This is a 6-pounder. This is a 10-pounder. So you want to start with probably a 4 or 5-pounder to work up to it. The point is you want to use your fingers. You want to actually catch the ball with your fingers and throw the ball with the fingers. Okay? And after doing it about 20 or 30 times, you feel a little bit of stress in your hand. So what we do is we go like this. And so I'm switching back and forth between my left hand and my strong hand. I'm catching it only with my fingertips and letting it go ahead and fall down, and then I'm throwing it up so that the other person can catch it as the ball is going down. That's what gives you the biggest workout with your fingers. If we go to a 10-pound ball, a little much for Blake, but that actually starts to work out your forearms. When you get past the 6 pounds or whatever, you actually work out your forearms some. Okay? Most people have probably seen something like this, the Grip Master. Again, this is something that you can put in your car, but you want to make sure that when you're doing the grip, that you actually get the pinky doing the grip pressure as well. You don't want to just do something like this where you're doing the index finger. You want full strength, a full compression with your fingers. This is probably the easiest tool that you can use to start out with, other than maybe the stress ball. Then we've got the the grip crushers. I've got 100, 150, and a 200 pound. These you can actually hurt yourself with, so you need to be careful that you follow the instructions and understand what you're doing with them. But what I do is I actually go and hold the 2 bars parallel, and I'll hold these for about 20 seconds each with one hand, and then I'll switch the other hand and I'll hold it for 20 seconds each. Okay? So I warm up with 100, and then I do the same thing 15 seconds with 150. And I'll go ahead and hold the same point, and I haven't moved up to a 200 yet, but hopefully someday we can get there. And then this is an iron arms, and this is good for the forearm. Basically you turn it, and that gives you stress on the muscles that are important to control recoil. And then if you turn it over, you do it the opposite way, and these work your forearms. So building up hand strength and forearm strength when you're shooting pistol is very important to controlling the recoil. If you watch the top pistol shooters, you'll see that their guns are flat. It's not because they're shooting powder puff loads, it's because their hands are very strong. One of our local grandmasters went and did some testing on people's grip strength and found that the higher a person is as far as their USPSA classification, the stronger their grip is. And what's important is we talk about using 60 or 70% of our weak hand pressure and 40 or 50% of our strong hand pressure. Well, if I can grip 200 pounds and I'm going to use 50%, I've got 100 pounds of pressure. If I can only grip 100 pounds and I want to grip 50%, I've only got 50 pounds of pressure. So the stronger you get your hands, the easier it is to grip with a good amount of pressure that's going to keep the pistol flat, maintain your sights coming back onto target quickly, and not fatigue. And that's the big thing is I found when I wasn't doing any grip strength training, after my first reload or maybe my second reload, especially on longer pistol stages, I started to relax, just naturally relax my grip pressure because I had fatigue without even realizing it. Now that I've been doing grip strength training in the last year, I really felt an increase in my accuracy and my speed, both. So we're going to go back to this. This is really cool because it's not exactly the same motion, repetitive motion, but what I try to do is maybe 40 or 50 throws with each hand, and your hands should actually feel a little bit tired when you're done. So get your training partner and start working on that grip strength. Thanks, Blake.